Hey there everybody, Ian Lee here. Hope y'all are doing well. In today's video, I'm going to talk about something that I've been exploring a little more, something that's really fun to do. It's an idea that I got from Sid Jacobs, who's a really great guitar player and teacher, and he's really wonderful with this contrapuntal stuff, this art of two-line improvisation that Jimmy Weibel gave to us on the guitar that I'm really loving playing with these days. And this idea, this concept is stealing from Bach. Really, we could steal from anywhere, and we do that all the time. It's actually a big part of the jazz language. There's a great book out there by a gentleman named Austin Kleon called Steal Like an Artist. It's a really, really wonderful read for any of you that are interested in that book. Highly recommend it. So let's talk about stealing from Bach today. I have a copy of the solo violin sonatas and partitas, and you can open that up probably randomly with your eyes closed and just hit a bar and you'll run into something invaluable. Same thing with Charlie Parker. Any great artist, right? You're going to find something to use there, something to practice, something to run through a scale, right? So let's talk about what I ran into. Now, I don't remember the page number or the piece of music or the bar or measure number, so forgive me for that. But I think more importantly is the concept and how to play with these ideas, and then you could do it on your own from there. So here's the first phrase that I got. It was one bar, I believe. So we have this B minor phrase. Okay, so what he's doing is he's playing B minor, or sorry, just B, then jumping up to the third, so jumping up a tenth, but we're still playing the third of the chord. Walking down the scale, we're in C major. So the third going to the seventh. Now, that is good voice leading, which of course we know Bach was a master of voice leading, but it just kind of reiterates the importance and value of those little things in voice leading, right? It's just good to see it over and over again and be reminded, oh yeah. So now to turn that into a two-line phrase, I decided to just hold the B note in the bass and then sustain that while everything else moves above it. Okay, so still 7 going down to 3. Okay. The next part of the phrase, now what does that spell out? Well, it's an E7, right? So it's 3, 7, 5, 7. And we're really just playing out of this drop 2, 3 shape. Drop 2, 3, for those of you who aren't familiar with that, it just means you play 3 strings in a row, skip a string, play a string. You probably know it as this B7. Surely you've played that as a guitar player before. But we can take it up here. Okay. So then we have. Now I decided to turn that into a contrapuntal phrase by sustaining the third. So I'm going to play the root in the third, and then try to get this a little cleaner. Just like that. So the third is sustaining the whole time. So the third is part of my melody, the root is harmonizing that, and then from there the third sustains and I play the rest of the phrase. Root 7, 5, 7. So all together I'm going to do this slowly. Or lots of great things we can do from there. Now the next step with something like this is, sure, work it across the neck as that, but then to take it through a scale. You could take that through a scale linearly, so just going up from chord to chord or degree to degree, or you can take it through the diatonic cycle of fourths, which I talked about in more detail in my last video. So you can check that out in the card above or the link in the description below. So I'm going to go ahead and put this phrase into C major. Our E7 is no longer going to be an E7 because E7 is not diatonic to C. It'll be an E minor 7 once we get there. So we're going to be using these chord shapes. You know, this drop 2-3, an easy way to think about it, is you have shell chords on the bottom with the fifth of the chord on the top. So that's root 3 7 5, root 3 7 5, root 3 7 5, and then root 3 7 5. Okay, it's a great sound to mess with, and they're really nice finger style shapes. Okay, and then from the same thing here, we're just going to be always playing the root in the third, and then we're just going to walk down the scale. So we'll do this just bit by bit here. So we have C major 7 to start. We're going to do this in the key of C. All right, it's a nice sound. And then we'll go to F because we're doing the diatonic cycle of fourths. It's a little finger independence exercise, so I have to think about it for a second. And I'm not doing a great job of letting that third sustain at the moment, but that I think would be the goal, to let that really ring out. Now we're going to do the same B minor phrase we just did earlier on, and then we have to do E minor 7, and now we're going to do A minor 7, that's 3, we're going to 6. Changed up my fingering because it's just easier to work it like that. Same fingering for the E minor 7 we just did. So now we're doing, that was D minor 7 though. And then we'll do G7. So now we've taken this Bach phrase, this idea from another great master. We saw that even Bach played 2 5s, which is great. And then we got to put that through a chord scale. And as we practice this, this can become language. It can become vocabulary that perhaps we can use one day. And at the very least, I just had fun doing it. It was just fun to open the page and be like, that one. And then to go, well, how am I going to make that work? And then you find a way to piece it all together and make it into something. And then you put it inside of music. The great thing, again, about the diatonic cycle of fourths is that these are progressions you're going to see and happen, right? 1 going to 4. Where else do we see that? The blues, right? 4, and then we've got 7 half diminished to 3. Now often you'll see that as a dominant to the relative minor of the key. It's a beautiful thing to see. But even then, just seeing it diatonically is beautiful. So then there's 3, 6, 2, 5. Okay, and if you do that as dominants, there's the bridge to rhythm changes in whatever key you want. There's so much value to this. I'm going to do this again one more time just so you have a little look at it. I'm going to go nice and slow because I'm still not playing it that great myself, or at least as clean as I'd like. And but that way we can have a listen, and you can play with me if you like. Oh, started on the wrong note there, sorry. C major, here we go. All right, enjoy that. You don't have to do it with Bach. You can do it with anything that you want. But have fun and happy practicing. I'll see you soon.